What's up, y'all? This is Brave, and I'm back with another review of Tyler Perry's Sistas. This is season 9, episode 3, and the episode is titled Having Faith. Let's go ahead and get right into it. You guys, this one was just as emotional as the last 2 episodes. My God. But I will say that again, we got to see some good acting. This time, especially from Karen. Of course, Ebony's doing a great job. And Zach showed a lot of emotion in this episode. So let's go ahead and get right into it. So we start this episode off with Sabrina and Andy. Y'all, they are pissing me off. They pissed me off so bad because they kept touching Karen. And then they also kept yelling, oh my gosh, somebody help, somebody help. But y'all, they did not go out into the hallway. I was like, why didn't y'all go out to the hallway? Call for the doctor. What are you doing? So Dr. Vaughn, he ends up coming in. He kicks them out and is like, listen, I have to perform this emergency C-section right now. So they went outside. And now Sabrina, she's over here trying to fight to go back in. I'm like, girl, please stop. Of all the things that are going on, now you want to fight to stay in the room? I'm sorry, y'all. I just feel like the way the girls reacted in this episode to a lot of things, I feel like either it should have been written different or their reaction should have been bigger, or somebody should have cried. How is it that Zach is the only one crying when y'all could possibly lose Karen? You know what I'm saying? But nonetheless, Andy, she ends up walking away from the girls, and the nurse comes by. She's like, okay, so who's the next of kin, right? And instead of them saying, oh, her mom is here, Miss Lisa, y'all, they got all these questions. I'm like, what are y'all doing? What is happening? So Lisa ends up walking up, and she's like, oh, I'm the mom. And the nurse is like, okay, well, does she have a DNR? And she's like, no, y'all gonna, perform CPR, keep my daughter alive, and make sure, you can at least try to keep both babies alive. And Fatima, at that point, she walks off so that way she can go update Zach. And one thing that I did not like about this whole thing is that I get it, Zach is Fatima's man, and she wants to make sure he knows everything that's going on. But also, I'm just like, y'all can't forget about Aaron. You know what I mean? Because one of the babies is his too. So we jump back over to Andy, and she was on her way to go find Dr. Cruz. So she found him and told him, basically how trifling he is as a doctor, and that he did not do anything to try to help Karen. And y'all, he low-key ate her up though. That man ate Andy up because he told her, girl, you worried about the wrong things right now, because at the end of the day, shouldn't you be worried about her having a C-section? Get up out my face. I am no longer that lady doctor, okay? And I'm just like, yeah, Andy, you should be calling some type of legal rep. What are you doing? You going around and tell him how you feel? That's cool. But you need to be on the phone trying to see who at your law office can help you with this case. Girl, why aren't you calling Robin? This is the time when you need to be calling Robin to be like, listen, baby, we got a case. And I mean, we gonna make some money up in this, okay? Nonetheless, we go see Sabrina and Danny. And basically, Danny is talking about how Sabrina is making her anxiety worse, right? And Danny's like, listen, you want some of my weed or what? Because you tripping. And she's like, yeah, I might have to take you up on that offer. I'm like, Sabrina, who are you? What is going on? But of course, we know what happened with her and Rich. So Danny, she ends up telling Sabrina about what happened with Tony and how he could possibly move to Alaska. And Sabrina, she finally tells her friend Danny about Rich and Penelope. And y'all, here's my thing. When it comes to that whole situation with Danny and Tony, I don't care. I really do not care, because at the end of the day, that man brought all of this on himself. Okay? All of it. I don't feel bad for Tony. I'm not even understanding why they are still together. Girl, he was trying to put everything on you so that way he could keep his job. Why are you still with him? It doesn't even make sense. Then for Sabrina and Rich, that whole situation, Like, I absolutely understand why she pissed off, okay? Because I would feel away as well knowing that Rich ended up telling Penelope about her IVF journey. And I'm just like, wait, Rich, how much were you actually confiding into Penelope? Because it's giving, y'all had multiple conversations, not just the one at the juice bar. Yeah, I'm just so glad that we're going to be getting rid of him. That's my ultimate hope for this season, that we get rid of Tony, Penelope, Rich, and whatever Penelope brother name is, Jordan. We got to get rid of all of them, okay? Moving on, we see Fatima and Zach, y'all, and they are talking about, everything that's going on. He's preparing to go into the room with Karen. Him and Aaron are going to go in there so that way they can, deliver the babies. And he's very concerned. He is very concerned about what's going on with Karen. And Fatima is trying to reassure him that, Karen is going to be okay. And I do love seeing her be the strong one in this moment, because we already know Fatima is always the strong one. Always. So to see her have to definitely be the strong one for Zach in this moment, I appreciated it. I really did. Now, I do still feel like at some point Fatima has got to reach a breaking point to where she has an emotional release, but maybe that'll happen on Zatima, okay? Moving on, they basically talk about how, Zach has had a day, okay? It's bad enough just earlier he had to save Andy's life when it came to Hudson and all of that foolishness, but now to know that Karen's life is in danger, one of the babies not making it, like, this day is way too long. It needs to be over. And Fatima, she ends up telling him, like, listen, we're going to support Karen in everything that she may need. So what I'm going to need for you to do is take a moment before you go into that room. But also, at the same time, I need for you to be strong. I need for you to be strong for Aaron, and I need for you to be strong for Karen right now, right? That's what she tell her man. So, after that, we do see Zach, and Aaron. So they talk before they go into the room, right? And Aaron, he is extremely nervous, y'all. Y'all, honestly, I'm surprised that Aaron did not start praying when we first got to the hospital, okay? Considering he a preacher. Like, I don't understand how we even dropped that storyline. But besides that, Aaron is like, oh my gosh, I can't do this. So Zach is like, no, we gonna pray. We gonna pray right now, right? Y'all, Aaron was so broken, he couldn't even get the prayer out, okay? He could not even get the prayer out. But luckily, Zach stepped up and Zach was able to say the prayer. Very nice. It was a very nice, very good prayer. I said, okay, Zach, who knew? Who knew that you had that in you, okay? Like, honestly, considering how much stuff Zach and Aaron have been through, especially with a lot of the back and forth, I did like seeing Zach, have to be the bigger person and really step up for Aaron. Because honestly, Zach has always been a problem. Like, in the grand scheme of things, Aaron was never really tripping off Zach the way Zach would trip off of Aaron. You know what I'm saying? So after this prayer is said, they are ready to go into the room with Karen. Oh, and Miss Lisa will be joining them. Then we go back over to Danny and Sabrina, y'all. Honestly, I got nothing out of this conversation. I don't care about Danny and her vices. I don't care about Danny and Tony. The only thing I got was that Rich kept calling and Sabrina didn't want to talk to him. So Danny ended up picking up the phone and she kind of went off on Rich. And honestly, I don't feel bad for him. And I feel like Danny did something that Sabrina wouldn't have done. Like, Danny kind of went in on him, and I feel like Sabrina, because she can be very soft when she doesn't need to be soft and when she needs to really stand up for herself. Yeah. So I definitely feel like, okay, Danny, you did your big one going off on Rich. But y'all, Sabrina keeps saying that she needs like a new life, basically. Like, I think she keeps saying Sabrina 2.0, and I'm really hoping that we get that. Like, I want to see a new version of Sabrina where she actually stands up for herself. You know what I'm saying? Because there has been multiple times when people have kind of walked all over her. But let's go ahead and move on, because then all the other girls, they meet up, right? And Danny ends up asking, do they know which baby, didn't make it? And Andy is like, oh, that's insensitive. But I'm just like, that wasn't insensitive. I feel like that was a valid question. Like, do we know whose baby did not make it at this point? Okay, because there are two different fathers. So one guy is going to actually be able to be a father to his living child, and somebody won't. So Danny, she ends up asking Fatima how she's doing, and she's like, I'm just trying to play my role. And honestly, she has been. Fatima has been playing her role very well. She not doing too much. She not trying to be too overbearing, but she is supporting in every way that she can. Honestly, she's done more for Karen than these other three put together, okay? And y'all know what I kept thinking this whole time? Where is Pam? You mean to tell me none of y'all could call Pam? Because y'all know Pam would have been there for Sabrina. I'm sorry, not Sabrina. For Karen. Because she loves Karen. Come on now. But nonetheless, after that, Fatima does mention how, her and Karen, they have come a long way. And Fatima assures them that, Zach and Fatima, they got Karen back. So the ladies, they kind of do like this little sister circle hug, right? And y'all, this is where the show kind of pissed me off. Why did we get a montage of sister circle hugs? And y'all, I'm just kind of like, why are we doing this to make it seem like Karen didn't make it? Like, what is this? But also in this scene, this is when I realized that Pam ain't around, because Pam was in one of the clips, and I'm like, yo, where is Pam at? But nonetheless, y'all, Miss Lisa come around, right? And before she can say anything, we cut to a break. So then we jump over to Zach, y'all. He enters some random doctor's room, kicks the table over, and Fatima is on his heels, trying to keep up with him. Y'all, he have a full breakdown. And I mean, to the point where he was blaming himself, saying that this was all his fault. Like, he is going on about how, this ain't fair, and he just needs her to be alive. Now, at this point, as a viewer, I'm like, y'all trying to set me up. Don't tell me that y'all done killed Karen off the show, okay? We jump back over to Danny and Sabrina, and Danny, she's taking all of this very hard, and, she says that she's never having kids because of this situation and how black women are treated when it comes to them actually delivering their children, because the doctors never take them, their request or their symptoms seriously. Now, keep in mind, she spots Dr. Cruz out, right? And she ends up yelling, hey, dickhead, you better watch your back for the rest of your life. I'm like, oh, okay. You know what? If that's how you want to express yourself, sure. Okay? Because in this moment, y'all just heard some tragic news, okay? We go over to Dr. Vaughn. He's talking to Sabrina and Danny, and he's there with Andy. Andy walked up with him, and he's like, I just want to give y'all my condolences. So they're like, okay, but can we, go see her? And they go to see Karen, right? Y'all. So we actually go into Karen's room at this point, right? And the doctor's telling her how he's going to give her some type of pain medication for this burning sensation that she feels because she just got a C-section. And y'all, she wants to see her babies. And the doctor confirms that one of the babies was a stillborn. So the girls are there to support her, you know what I mean? And she's like, okay, but what about Aaron and Zach? Do we know whose baby it was? And Danny says that, yep, they do. So that just confirmed that, it was Zach's baby. Zach is the one who lost his baby. So, y'all, we go back over there to Zach, and he's telling Fatima what happened, and how he only heard one baby cry, and he kept asking about the other baby. Y'all, this broke me. Again, we are 3 episodes in, and they are, getting all my emotions, okay? My emotions are all over the place with this, okay? So they did a test, after both babies were taken out. And yes, it was Zach's baby that passed away. It's confirmed. Now we go back over to Karen's room, and she feels like she's supposed to be a mother of two. Y'all, watching Karen break down because she does not have both of her children. Oh my God. I'm telling y'all, I paused this so many times trying to watch this scene. Like, oh my God. I just felt so bad for Zach, Karen, honestly, everybody in the situation, because this is not what we wanted, okay? We did not have Karen be pregnant for like 5 seasons for this to be what we got, okay? So she's like, how am I supposed to tell her sister, that she didn't make it? And Danny's like, we're going to tell her together. And they do end up telling Karen that there's an opportunity for her to hold her baby, the one that did not make it. And, she's like, okay, but can we do it together, right? So the girls are super supportive. They're like, yeah, for sure. Y'all, I feel so bad for Karen. I feel so bad. So we do see the nurse. She brings in the baby. And y'all, I don't even know if I could do that. I really don't know. If I could, hold my baby that I know I cannot take home. You know what I'm saying? God, this was heavy. But we learned that she named the baby Forever Taylor. I can't lie. That was the perfect name. Perfect name for this baby. Y'all, I don't think I'm ready for this season with all the emotions that Karen is about to go through. I know this review is very short, but I just kind of feel like with everything that has transpired, I'm just thinking, where is the show going to go from here? Okay? Because I feel like Karen, she's going to feel completely out of it because she's going to be going through postpartum. She also is only going to be a mom to one baby, but she know that she's supposed to have 2 babies with her. Then we have the aftermath of whatever happened with Gary and Andy and all that foolishness. At some point, I feel like we're going to circle back to Danny and Tony, which I really don't care about. Zach is probably going to be blaming himself a lot because that baby is not here. But also at the same time, I wonder if Fatima is going to feel like some type of guilt because she's pregnant with Zach's other baby at this point. There's a lot. There's a lot to unpack. There's a lot going on. And I am really, really hoping that the writers take their time, really flesh out some storylines, and really give us some good TV, okay? Because, this has been pretty good. Even though the situation is horrible, what happened to Karen, it was very good, okay? I'm going to need for them to keep it up, okay? But let me know what y'all thought about it. Go ahead and comment, and subscribe to my channel, and I will talk to y'all in my next review. Bye, guys.